Hi. So 2020's been off to a rough start. Everywhere you look right now, everyone's talking about the coronavirus. So I thought it'd be nice to sit back and think about when things were nice. The good old days, as the kids might say. It's 2006, kids television was at its prime, and I was living the sweet life. Okay, I quickly want to add that I'm not trying to say we should ignore current events because that's very important. So please keep up and be aware. Also, Bertie Gilbert made a video like this, and it's far better than mine will ever be, so make sure you watch that too. Alright, let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? Let's start! This was probably one of the best places for kids television. Everyone who had a TV had access to this channel, and it was fun and educational and just...
It's Brittany, bitch.
Cyber Chase. 3 kids get sucked into a portal and meet a talking bird and then have to use math to defeat the hacker in order to save Motherboard. And they just went along with it. For a while during the school year, I was only allowed to watch 1 episode of TV during the weekdays, and you bet your bottom dollar that at 5 o'clock I was right in front of that TV watching Cyber Chase. Also, forget the kids for a second. Let's take a minute to honor the real stars of the show, Gilbert Gottfried and Christopher Lloyd. I mean, what a pair of voices. There's an episode where Matt and Digit have to make a souffle to defeat the hacker. And I just remember being scared that Digit's voice was going to be the thing to deflate the souffle.
And we have to be very, very quiet!
So do you guys remember the real life applications to Cyber Chase? Cyber Chase for real. It was with like Harry and Bianca. Let the record show, I did not like Harry. Bianca was great though, and she made rock candy once, and then I tried to make rock candy, but then I got impatient after an hour, so then I stuck it in the freezer because I was like, same thing! My mom wasn't too thrilled when she found it.
The candy crystals will be ready in a week.
Arthur. This was just the best show. My sister and I still quote it to this day.
Maybe there's a contest for lonely children after this. It's only children, DW. A lonely child is what you're gonna be when I sell you.
There were so many great episodes and lessons that taught you how to be understanding and compassionate to others. They explored Buster and how his parents were divorced.
I admit it, sometimes I do get upset that my parents aren't together. Once in a while, I just really want to see my dad, but I can't. I have to call him instead. But I really enjoy the time I do get to spend with him. And even though my parents aren't together, we're still a family. It's just different than yours.
And the dynamic between Arthur and W. Yes, they ratted on each other all the time, but when it came down to it, they were always there for each other. Like when Arthur got his knee cut on a can, when he got lost, when they were scared their parents were going to get a divorce, when Arthur was husky, when DW helped Arthur clean his room.
Arthur, you scared me. You better promise never to get lost again.
Okay, I won't.
Do you promise?
I promise.
Cross your heart?
Cross my heart.
Also, remember when Mr. Rogers was on the show? A crossover for the centuries.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a lovely day for a neighbor.
You must be Binky Barnes.
Zoom and Fetch with Rough Ruffman. These were 2 different shows, but they featured real kids, and I always wanted to be one of them. Zoom taught kids a bunch of stuff like math and science, but also how to use the resources around you. The things I thought were junk could be recycled and reused to make new things. Sign me up. Granted, looking back on them, they didn't look great, but to a kid, that was the coolest thing in the world because they made it. Rough Ruffman taught me a lot about teamwork, and also, it gave me a fear of the Blue Man Group. You guys remember that episode? I don't know. It was freaky. I thought I'd wake up to see them standing over my bed and like hitting me with their sticks are so scary.
I was almost attacked last night in my own home. I walk in and there's a colored man in my kitchen.
Colored? What color was he exactly?
Blue.
Hello, Lucio.
Maya and Miguel. You guys remember the cheery, chipper Cupid sisters? They were so cool. They didn't even care what people thought about them. Liberty Kids. Best theme song out there. Big comfy couch. I still try and attempt to do the clock stretch. It's hard. Sesame Street, a classic. The song I Don't Want to Live on the Moon will always make me want to cry. And also, do you remember when Andrea Bocelli was trying to sing to Elmo while he was sleeping?
Mr. Bocelli.
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I love him. Between the Lines. Did you know that the word doctor, Dr. Ruth Wordheimer, is a sex therapist and a former sniper and going strong at 91 years old? And what have I done? Absolutely nothing. Franny's Feet. I did not care for this show. A child puts her feet inside of old men's dirty shoes. Think about the funk that those shoes are holding. Disgusting! Where will my feet take me today? Probably a podiatrist. There's still more PBS shows I want to talk about, but we're on to the next channel. Kids 13. This is basically still PBS, but on cable. And guess who got cable in 4th grade? This girl. I'm not sure, but I think Kids 13 got changed or absorbed by Discovery Kids or the Discovery Family Channel. I'm not sure. Wishbone. Sometimes I feel like the show was a fever dream. A dog dreams about literature, and then the dog's owner is going through those same problems but in real life. Is that right? I'm not sure, but it was very enjoyable. The Saddle Club. This show was my jam, and you're telling me that Chris Hemsworth was on it as a doctor?
You talk too much.
Boomerang. Banana Split show was terrifying. Tra-la-la traumatizing. Look at them. Look. They were so scary. Ew. Wait. Oh my gosh. In 2019, they made a horror movie about the Banana Split show. Boomerang, when I was watching it, had all the classic shows like Pink Panther, Looney Tunes, Yogi Bear, Tom and Jerry, and I used to get so upset because I wanted to watch the misadventures of Flapjack and I couldn't. Looking back on it, I really treasure that I got to watch the Flintstones and Popeye and the Jetsons because those are all shows that my dad grew up watching, and so we'd watch them together and have the best time, and it's great. There's so many Cartoon Network and Boomerang shows that I could ramble on about, but let's leave it here for now. Also, Bertie covered a lot of the Cartoon Network shows that I want to talk about and explain them perfectly, so you should go watch that one too.
This fall, Saturdays get even better. Introducing ABC Kids, the only place on Saturday mornings to catch Kim Possible, Lizzie McGuire, the Proud Family, and more. Go KP! Get on the team. ABC Kids, Saturdays on ABC.
This was really the only time I got a glimpse of what the Disney Channel is like. They played Hannah Montana, That's So Raven, The Replacements, and Emperor's New Groove. One episode of each every Saturday morning starting at 7 a.m. I usually only woke up in time to watch The Replacements and Emperor's New Groove. Sometimes I got to see That's So Raven. Rarely, I got to see Hannah Montana. If I didn't wake up early enough to watch any of those, I had to watch the Power Rangers because for some reason they played 5 hours of that. Controversial, but I'd rather watch no TV than watch the Power Rangers. Disney Channel. I didn't have it. Even though we got cable in 4th grade, we didn't get the package with Disney Channel until maybe about like 6th grade, and then I was done watching it. I honestly wanted it so bad that I would turn on the TV to the Disney Channel and just stare at a gray, staticky screen. But you know what? I was able to make out words and faces because I'm smart. So I did have access to the Disney Channel website. What a mistake. You know how you could go to a specific TV show and like play their games? Well, on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, there was a section. Oh gosh. There was a section where you could email the cast members. So I decided to send an email to Cole Sprouse. And it said, "Hi Cole, I think you're really cute. And I like your moles." And then my sister caught me. And then I cried.
I'm weird. I'm a weirdo.
The WB, Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, Freakazoid, Jackie Chan's Adventures. Thank you, Steven Spielberg.
Who are you people?
My Scene. This was a series on Barbie's website. I really thought I'd be like that in high school. I thought I'd get a car. I thought I'd have a boyfriend that played in a band. Never happened then. Still hasn't happened. When's it gonna happen, Barbie? Boy, could those guys play instruments. Okay, last section. We sing Sillyville and Sally's Birthday. These two weren't on TV, but I had the VCR tapes and I'd watch them all the time. I can't even tell you why. Like, the songs were pretty good, but how did I not get nightmares from these characters? I mean, imagine waking up to that.
We're here because we're here because we're here because we're here.
Is how my friends and I will be entering parties from now on. Thank you for sticking through this entire video. I rambled, but it was really nice getting to look back on all the shows that I think played a big role on making me who I am today. Believe it or not, there's still so many shows that I didn't talk about, and honestly, it's because I still watch kids shows and discover old ones, and I really love them, like Pepper Ann and The Weekenders and Even Stevens. I actually really like how Tino from The Weekenders signs off the show. I feel very lucky to have had the shows I grew up with, and I'm not really happy about where kids content is right now. And actually, Eddy has 2 really good videos that talk about it, and I will link them down below. But shows like John Mulaney and the Sack Lunch Bunch and some of the new animation shows that are coming out are giving me hope that it will improve. So here's to better kids content in 2020. Later days.
Oh, Andrew!
I'm right behind you!